I don't consider myself a criminal. I'm an artist. God gave me a talent, and it would be a crime not to use it. I could have been a politician. I could have been a brain surgeon. I could have been a teacher, but I became a burglar instead.
I met Norman many, many years ago. I used to be a member of Norman's gang. And if I'd been a member of Norman's gang now, I wouldn't have been doing time. He was a real crackerjack, Norman, or a burglar. You could take a watch off your ear, Norman, you never can. You could be sitting using it, and you could look for a time and your watch was gone. That's Norman for you.
People ask me if being a burglar is glamorous. Well, it is. But the planning and preparing for it, oh, no. And the hours are unsociable. And it's not the sort of place you'd like to meet people in. I mean, you could end up in prison.
When we were in the jail, Norman got in contact with his warder, Murdo anyway, Murdo's his name. And great lad Murdo, so him and Norman got very friendly. Even after Norman came out, they were great pals. The only trouble with Murdo was he was a drunkard and a bit of an alky. And him and Norman, I think he used to give Norman a wink for his house today. Had the good stuff in it.
I met Norman in the prison. He was doing a stretch for housebreaking. And I was prison warden.
My first crime was shoplifting, and it seemed to become easier and easier. And then I got in with a gang, and I think that was where the disaster happened, because I landed up in prison. And that was where I met the warden, Murdo, and him and I got together and talked over things. So now there's the two of us, and that's all.
He started telling me about the burglary business. And I found this very challenging and realistic, very spiritual and materialistic. So I packed up the prison job. And I waited until Norman was released. And I went and get to work with Norman.
When I see a new car in the driveway or a starlight dish, oh, I think I'm really onto a good thing, I am.
Norman's come down to an awful craze for televisions and satellite dishes. He just saw that seem to keep his fingers off him. He's ain't knocking somebody's satellite dish. To hear him been missing, that's Norman sure is good.
I would describe myself as a lookout, come getaway, come car driver, getaway, come car loader. And then that's not as easy as it sounds, because you've got to make a conscious effort to drive normally. Just a minute till I get some of this stuff in.
Burglary is a seasonal job. You can't do it in the summer months because it's too light. So you have to make enough over the winter to do the rest of the year. I'm like a squirrel in reverse. See?
You think he was simple, like a white tea, but he's not. Sometimes that lads, kind of lads, it's like that.
Now, my day's taken up by trying to sell stolen goods. And I do this by using the phone. It's more personal, and it saves a lot of paperwork. Hello, George. It's Norman here. I've got some TVs and a video recorder and video cameras that we're trying to sell. You know of anybody down there I can get Murdo to take? Murdo has a car nearby in the garage, and he usually drives the stuff south or wherever.
You speak about criminals? Criminals? I drive this stuff all the way down to Glasgow. And boy, believe me, you speak with crooks. You come up against some of these boys, you're trying to sell that stuff till you're coming among real crooks.
When I'm not talking shop, I'm usually pottering about the house and paintwork and well, as you see the garden, well, there's a lot to be done in it.
And you should see his garden. He's a master of gardening. It's well laid out, and his statues for near our parts of the world. Statues are worth a fortune now. I think Norman must have knocked some odd statues from some odd historic houses. It's a lovely house, a mansion of house, and it's a little best of stuff it's in it. God, I reckon if I put a valuation on Norman's out, they'd be still counting yet.
Right, Murdo, before the guests are, what about the garden? What are you going to do about that? Sort of stones and that, and well, we want to get the vegetables in, and I was thinking we'd maybe lay the front out in a lawn, you know, kind of thing. And
like someone?
oh yes. And get some contractor in to see to the back. I don't know.
Well, you're making such a big thing about this garden. I don't know what you're getting on about. I mean, to me, it seems to be simple enough. All you need is a nice little wee patio on the front, and round at the side, you could have shrubs all the way down the drives, not high, but a small shrub. Can I have more wine, please?
I like housekeeping for Mr. Love. He's very tidy, very good, except for the garage. He has everything in that garage, TVs, hi-fis, radios, videos. Don't know where he gets them from. Mr. Baxter comes sometimes with a lorry and takes the stuff away.
Oh, she's a marvellous cook, she is. I don't want anybody else.
Oh yes, lunch today, he rather likes his food. Scotch broth, risotto, and bread and butter pudding.
Well, I had a lovely plate of soup. It wasn't a broth, but it was something similar. And then there was that bread and butter pudding with the meringue. Oh, if there'd been second helpings I'd have had.
And wines, a few different wines.
Mrs. Parker makes her own wine, you know. And there was that raspberry wine, and then there was this blackcurrant wine, I think it was, or something like that. And then she'd made some mead, but I haven't got round to it yet.
Mr. Love is very fond of music. I often play piano for them, and they sing. I'm not very good. Oh no, that's no good. You were late too.
Living out here, you can check all your stolen goods. No one round here suspects that you're a burglar, and therefore it's just ideal.
Ready, Norman?
Ready when you are, Murdo. Enough then. See you. Bye.
He's a very, very rich man, Norman. And how many even as far as money comes see. And there was a story out that the income tax was investigating Norman. But it's found out that the income tax were all Norman money.
I usually make about 40 to 50,000 a year tax-free and a 6 weeks holiday.
He's got a rare accountant, Norman. I the top burglar use him, and he's just a real shifty kind of block. He's a likeable block too, but you just wonder how he can fiddle at his books. That's fiddling inland revenue, because he's been fiddling everybody. And if you catch him, I think he'd be away for 20 years, maybe just like that. There's no problem at all.
Norman is a very prudent businessman. He pays tax like the rest of us, but being involved in the type of business he's involved in and using the services of qualified accountants such as myself, he pays tax, and he pays tax as well. He's a trader. He's involved in importing, he's involved in exporting. High technology, modern communications, televisions, video, those sorts of things.
And I'll tell you that thing, he was half a good to all folk, Norman. I remember once he gave us a Hodge couple freezer. And hadn't a clue where it come from. That was Norman all over. Another couple he gave him a Hoover.
Norman is one of the most generous people that I know in this city. I would say that his involvement with local charities is probably second to none in the city. I mean, in particular, he is very fond of one charity, and for the more senior citizens in our community, and that's the Friends of the Elderly. He regularly gives them donations, all tax deductible of course, but very well meaning all the same, and occasionally some of the benefits of his fruits as a businessman he passes on to those less fortunate than himself.
Norman is a super fella. He comes around every Tuesday, has a cup of tea and a chat. He always has a smile and a little something. Last week, he brought me a tumble dryer.
What else am I going to do with the stolen goods?
Norman, you are a silly man.
Summing Norman up really, he's just a master. He's a master at a craftsman. It's an art that Norman developed. And I think there's nobody could ever touch him.
Last week we did a right big haul. Believe me, it was some haul too. But if you'd any idea the amount of work that he put in to get all his plans going, you'd be surprised.
And another thing about him, it's an honour even to get your house burgled by Norman. He's a mastermind as far as planning is concerned. He's got the gift of the gab tea, but it's up here, Norman. It's up here. You die thinking deep. He's got the best of the brains.
After all, we're not doing anybody any ill. As I say, when you come to think of it, think of all these big boys that are robbing millions and millions at a time, and they're speaking about countries and lives. We're not killing anybody. All we're doing is just leaving these rich people with some of this stuff. In fact, we're doing a Robin Hood act here.
Probably Murdo and I will go on for a few years yet until we've made enough so we can really sit back and enjoy retirement or old age. But I think we've still got quite a few years to go yet.